you know, I'm trying to take a different approach on this, on my weight loss efforts and my lifestyle change. And in doing so, I feel that I have to come to terms with a lot of things that I've done in the past that weren't successful. If they were successful, I wouldn't be right here where I am talking about what it is that I'm speaking of, correct? hmm Well, you know how sometimes we put different descriptives on fat to make fat not look as bad as it does. Well, I'm tired of using those descriptives, and I'm tired of going into Lane Giant and Ashley Stewart. I mean Lane Bryant and Ashley Stewart and Catherine's and buying clothes with enough material to drape a wall. I'm sick of that. And you know, you have to look at it just like that. You know, what is it? What is it? Why is it, you know, you put those type of descriptives? Well, I'm big bone, I'm extra thick, or I'm voluptuous, I'm curvy, I'm all of that. But we do that when we really and truly are not ready to deal with the matter at hand. Fatness. Fatness. Not Phatness. Fatness. Fat. And if you are more than, I don't know if it's more than 100 pounds, it might be more than 75 pounds, I don't know, overweight, you are considered morbidly obese. Morbid means that the chance of you dying from fat is greater than if you were just obese or a little overweight. I'm tired of blaming stuff on my heredity. I'm tired of blaming things on my DNA. I'm tired of blaming things on, you know, this, that, and the other. I'm tired of saying, well, all my folks big. I don't care. That don't mean I have to carry big into the next generation. It doesn't mean that, you know. Just coming to grips with things and using the videos as a way of getting it out and dealing with it, because the sooner I can see it for being just what it is, something that is impeding my growth, something that is slowing me down, is keeping me from doing the things that I know I ought to be doing, I ought to have enough energy to do. So thinking the way I've been thinking about food, you know, it's bad when you get happy when you see food. And I'm changing the way I look at food. There was one time I could look at a number 3 combo at McDonald's, and if I'm not mistaken, that is the double quarter pounder with cheese. Look at the sweet tea and almost shake because you know it's going to taste good, or the way the fries taste when you put them in your mouth, or the way it feels to bite into that double cheeseburger, that double quarter pounder. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous to feel that way about food. Well, what void is it that needs to be filled in order to change the way you feel about food so that it can stop being attached to your butt, hips, and thighs? It needs to stop. I'm tired of tying my shoestrings for my tennis shoes, and once I tie them, it looks like the bow is right there in the inner corner of my ankles. You can look at a person and tell when they done had a hard time tying their shoes by looking at where that bow is when they finish tying them. If it's right in the front, 9 times out of 10 they didn't have a hard time tying them. You know what I'm saying? If it's on the outer ankle or the inner ankle, man, they done caught hell. They done just about lost their eyeball bending over trying to tie their shoes. I've been there and I've done that. I'm not talking about something I don't know about. You feel me? I want to be able to go to Six Flags in the water park and not worry about, oh my God, how am I going to do this? One time, and this is when I was newly married, I had started gaining weight, you know, because you got that comfort thing going on. And we had gone to Six Flags, and we got on this this ride called the Z-Force at that time. And I wasn't as big as I am now. But, you know, them folks shouldn't have let me get on it. It ain't their fault now, because if they had told me you couldn't, I swear for God it was going to be a fight in that line at Six Flags. Ooh, Six Flags over Georgia. They'd have been riding the midnight train to Georgia, because I would have shown out. But anyway, I got on there and I was top heavy, you know. And the thing came down over your head and locked down, and you had this little thing you clicked down and it locked you in. Now your feet were kind of dangling out there. You were sitting down but your feet were dangling. Now let me tell y'all something. Before we pulled off, that thing was not like click click down. It was just click. It didn't go to click click. It went click. I held on to that thing for dear might. And y'all, just last year I stopped holding my hands like this. And that was 10 years ago. I held on so tight because I knew that I was going to wind up in Alpharetta, Georgia somewhere. You know where I'm coming from? On up the road in Georgia. Because that thing wasn't down enough. You feel me? And I commenced, when that thing went on that outer curve of that thing, I went on and peed. I peed. And I knew it was some scattered showers over Six Flags that particular day at the park, at the amusement park. And when I got off the thing, thankfully we had gone on Thunder River prior to that ride. And when we got off, I said, "Now ain't no need of me smelling like no Mr. Clean. Just come on, let's get on Splash Waterfall and let me rinse off. And we gonna enjoy the rest of our day." And my ex-husband, he laughed at me. It was funny, but I knew I had a problem then. The thing didn't go click click. It went click. And my eye was just like this, and I was thinking, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. They gonna think it's a meteorite hitting Georgia, because I'm gonna be flying across this thing, and this thing called a Z-Force anyway, and your face was all like this in the, you know, in the seat and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, I'm finna die. Which leads me to what I wanted to read to y'all. Morbid voluptuousness. Inside I am kicking and screaming and crying. I want out of this place. Something that a friend said, it hit hard. It slapped me in my face. I visualized myself running like a gazelle freely in the wilderness, feeling the cool breeze and breathing with ease. I envy you as you slide so easily in the booth, the tabletop knot buzzing and pressing into your gut. I want out of this fat place, morbidly obese, arteries clogged with grease, avoiding the national campaign for a change because my body hurts and it aches with pain. Arthritis, my next door neighbor, he moves in when it rains. In my mind, I know what I should do. This weighty excess is killing me. It ain't bothering you. Educated, I know what I need to do. I enjoy Six Flags, the water parks, and just having fun. I look down at my swollen feet and wonder, who do those belong to? Need to invest in an exercise plan and stop hanging out with them little children that work at McDonald's and at the drive-thru. It's more expensive to be fat. My insurance increasing due to my higher risk for diabetes and a heart attack. Unable to come up with more synonyms to avoid the true description, I'm ashamed to go to my doctor and ask him for yet another weight loss prescription. I am good at making excuse after excuse, and I need to get some therapy. Y'all are my therapy for this morbid obesity abuse that I've called morbid voluptuousness. Bye, y'all.